Well, the Seahawks look to get back into the win column this week in Minnesota, but it won't be easy against the Vikings. Jen Mueller alongside John Boyle from Seahawks.com with 3 key matchups for this week's game. And John, we know what Tyler Lockett can do and has done, but I'm curious to see what he will do against a secondary in Minnesota that hasn't quite gelled yet.
Exactly. Tyler Lockett is off to just a phenomenal start, 278 yards and 3 touchdowns on 12 catches, and there might be some opportunity for him this weekend. The Vikings have a lot of talent in that secondary, but they signed 3 of their 4 starters in free agency this year, both cornerbacks, as well as safety Xavier Woods. They got some new guys, and it's caused some problems so far in the back end. They've been susceptible to some big plays. Again, a lot of talent. When it starts clicking, that's going to be a really tough defense. Seahawks will hope to get another chance to make some big plays. And look, if the Vikings do take Tyler Lockett away, we know the Seahawks can counter with DK Metcalf, who might be due to have a big game himself.
When we think about the Vikings offense, Dalvin Cook comes to mind. Now, he has been able to rack up a lot of yards, but there's some question marks around his health, John.
Yeah, Dalvin's coming off an ankle injury from last week that kept him out of practice the first 2 days of the week. Everyone in Minnesota is talking like he's playing. I think the Seahawks are preparing like he's playing. And when he's out there, he is a dangerous player. We know the Seahawks really focused on stopping the run, and really for 6 quarters they did that really well. They shut down Jonathan Taylor in week 1. They held Derrick Henry to just 35 yards on 13 carries for the first half. Unfortunately, Henry got rolling, finished with a 60-yard touchdown, 182 yards, and that was really all the difference in the game. So again, Dalvin Cook, really talented, catching the ball and running it. He rushed for 131 last week. Seahawks will need to keep him in check if they want to keep that Vikings offense slowed down.
Here's something else the Seahawks can do to make this game easier on themselves. Cut down on the penalties, but I think this is a matchup on both sides of the equation.
Yeah, you know, both these teams, if you look at the games they've lost, they're talking about the mistakes they made getting in their own way. Obviously, the Seahawks last week, Pete Carroll really harped on the penalties. It wasn't just they had 10 penalties, it's that 5 of them were 15-yarders, really unnecessary after the whistle stuff. They got to clean that up. They've also given up a few too many big plays. There's a 51-yarder to Julio Jones, the 60-yard run for Derrick Henry. You know, you're going to give up some plays, but those huge plays just can't happen. Vikings are saying the same thing. They've allowed a lot of big plays, and they've been getting killed in the 2-minute offense. At the end of halves and the end of games, they've given up 24 points inside of the 2-minute warning, so they want to fix that. They've also had some penalty issues. Week 1, they committed 12 penalties. So again, both these teams just feel like if they play cleaner, they're going to have a good chance to win.
All right, we will see how things play out in Minnesota. The Seahawks have won 7 straight games against the Vikings. You can listen to the game on the Seahawks Radio Network, and John Boyle's got you covered with everything you need to know on Seahawks.com.